everyone. This is going to be off the top of my head, freestyled. So I just did a live where we did like nonstop free tarot questions, and I wanted to create a video from that video, that live, which was amazing. We got $33 in donations from Crystal. Thank you. But what I had started the live off talking about as an icebreaker was, why are my subscribers struggling financially? Not all of them, but some of them. Why are some of you guys struggling with having success in your life? Why are some of you guys, what is holding you guys back from not being successful, from not thriving, from not saying, oh, I have a high paying job, I'm making a lot of money? Or like, what's stopping you guys from working? And I asked that question intuitively, you guys, because I always feel the momentum in the chat, like, and I always feel the vibes and I always feel the auras in the chat. And a lot of you guys kind of vibe off of victim mentality or like unhealed issues or insecurities. And I understand, just because you're asking a question doesn't mean you're insecure. It's just the vibe that comes with it. Okay, so what I came to find out after doing that 2-hour live, there was a lot of questions, okay? And some of these questions were like, wow, eye-opening, right? But specifically, I wanted to touch base on this one subscriber, AM. She was asking about college, and I wanted to help with that first and foremost. So I wanted to say, the only thing I felt was a little off was she kept asking for financial support, and she kept asking her spirit guides, was she going to be financially supported? Why is nobody helping her financially? Especially her mom or her family. Her dad had passed away. She's going to college. She was actually asking, like, where should she go to college? When should she go to college? When should she move out? Why is nobody helping her financially? And I wanted to give her the raw truth. When it comes to money, I want to give you a little bit of my background and be a little transparent with you. So I grew up in a 2-parent home, right? My parents worked 9 to 5. And nobody helped them financially. They just worked, okay? And they've been working since they were children. So my parents, both worked, both had jobs, very stable people. They both afforded mortgage, bought cars, put, food on the table, you know, but we were not like spoiled. Like we weren't getting like luxury. We were getting like middle class, but luckily we weren't poor class. You get what I'm saying? So what my parents had taught me when I was a little child, like, was that I was not gonna get everything that I asked for. Okay, so I never used to really ask for anything. I just used to be on the receiving end. Whatever they give, they give. So I used to keep my desires very like to my chest, So everything that I got, like being in a house, getting a bike, getting some Christmas presents later on in life, getting food, getting the attention I got from my parents, the minimal, having a dog, getting a dog, just basics, right? That was fine until I grew up, right? My parents taught me you need to earn money. So I remember in high school, my dad and my mom did buy me a car when I was 14. Okay, so they did buy me a brand new Toyota Corolla. It was like $12,000. They bought it brand new. It was for me. I earned it, right? But they were like, you have to pay for the gas, you have to pay for everything else, so you got to get a job, right? So I ended up getting a job when I was 16 or 15 worked at this furniture store where I was holding a sign outside, and I dressed as a gorilla with an umbrella holding a sign up, come in the furniture store. So they paid like, I don't know, $15 or $20 an hour. I did that for like 2 days or 3 days or 2 weekends, maybe 2 weeks. And my parents came and visited me. They were happy. I had like a little job. I got some gas money for my car. Anyways, long story short, my parents only gave me things when they felt like I deserved it or I earned it. So in high school, my dad was like, if you get A's, I'll give you $100 A. That semester, I got 6 A's, so I got $600, okay? My dad used to give me allowance, like $60 every week, maybe, in high school. So I had money to eat. What I was doing was I was saving that money. I was buying, like, iPads. I was buying computers. Like, at school, kids used to, like, come up on gadgets and stuff, and I used to buy stuff like that. I used to invest in, like, electronics, flipping electronics, stuff like that. That was a side hustle. But yeah, my mom, she was finding a lot of free resources for me when I was younger. She would put me in day camp, free. She would put me in college prep, free. She would put me in like different programs that were free, you know, that were for educational purposes or like for kids under a certain age. She was very savvy. Like my mom would not put me in designer brands. You know, she shopped very much on a budget. Um, but yeah, my parents got me like electronics later on in life, got me Nikes later on in life, stuff like that. But I had the nice house and like I had transportation. I used to take the bus to school in high school until my sister got a car, and then I would get rides to school, right? So I had a car too. So later on in life, yeah, I had to learn how to budget and how to save and how to hustle. So my parents weren't the type that was like, oh, can I ask them to buy me a Louis bag and they'll buy it for me? No, they'll buy me a knockoff first. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until I started working. So like when I first got my job at 16, 15, I started working, and then I moved up and got another job. I got a job at Jamba Juice. Jamba Juice making smoothies, right? So I worked there for like a year and a half. I was really running the whole store. I was a cashier. I was a juicer. Like was handling cash, handling money, all that good stuff. I was a good worker, okay? And then I moved over to the mall where someone hired me from my high school. He was like a manager there. He hired me at this clothing store he was working at. So I was working for a clothing store for them until they closed down. And then I moved into an office setting where I was working for an office for like a year and a half. Then I moved up and created my own online e-commerce business where I started reselling designer stuff. But that was when I got in college. So basically the whole college thing was like this. My parents was like, look, we ain't paying for your college. You're about to figure it out, right? So my mom knew how to apply to financial aid to where like I was an independent woman, to where like I didn't claim that I had parents, that I was living with my parents. I claimed that I was living alone and I was living by myself, and that I didn't have any parents to help me. So I claimed that basically I was financially independent and that I needed financial aid. So I got financial aid, but I also got grants. So the grants were a lot. Like they helped me like for 4 years with grants. Like, you know, so those grants really helped, and the financial aid helped for college, you know. And then you can apply for other things. Like I know they have a lot of scholarships they can give you. You just have to write essays. Okay, you just have to apply yourself. They have a lot of grants. You just have to write essays for. But then, if you really need it, and this is not available to everybody, this is only available to people that they select that have good grades. If you need a loan, a financial loan from school, they're only going to give it to the people that have good grades. They're not going to give it to just anybody. They don't trust anybody with just a loan, especially federal loans, unsubsidized loans. That means like interest you don't have to pay back. And with these financial loans that come from your school, you don't have to pay them back. Literally, they give you like 30, 40 years for the rest of your life to pay them back because they come from your education. They don't come from just like a loan processor. It's really under your loan from school, you know, from your grades. So like if you need that, they have that option, but they're only giving that to people who have good grades, who they trust. You know what I'm saying? So that's there for a lot of people who want to run a business or want to borrow money or want to go buy a house or need to go buy a car or need to pay for their tuition or whatever. There's like 4 or 5 different lanes on how to fund your college career, basically, and how to take care of yourself if you're an independent person, right, without your parents. So in college, I got a lot of help from my school just off of having good grades, just off of being accepted into a college and having good grades. I got a lot. And then when you get into college, there's all these resources, there's all these like groups, there's all these like agencies that can help you financially, but you have to earn it, you have to work for it. So like I said, I ran a business, I was a business owner. A lot of people helped me. Like I used to put myself out there, like, this is my business support, this is my business support, hi, my name is this is what I got going. People used to word of mouth and buy from my business, like buy. It was amazing for me to experience. So like I said, if you're out there, you gotta hustle, you gotta come up with ideas, you gotta be a self-starter, you gotta be a forward person, you cannot be scared, you gotta be, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have, here it is, you know, this works for me, you know, like, you have to put your best foot forward. You have to present yourself. You have to project what you want other people to know and what you need, okay? And don't be scared. You have to walk by faith. So like I said, when it comes to finances and you start to grow up and you start to mature in life, you realize that people take out home loans. Did you realize this? A lot of people that own houses took out a home loan. Okay, so loans are not the worst. People have home loans for their houses because just imagine buying a $500,000 house. Who has $500,000 sitting in their account? Only wealthy people, right? They can cash out and buy those things. But people who don't just have or don't want to spend $500,000 of their own money, they're going to go take out a loan. So to get a loan, you have to show that you're responsible, that to show that you're trustworthy. So a bank is going to give you $500,000. They're going to pay off the house, but now you owe the bank. So you're going to start paying payments to the bank to pay off your home loan, right? Most of people have home loans, okay? It's a normal thing, and people don't call it debt. People call it like it's a home loan. Like, you're paying off the bank instead of paying off the loan, because now the bank, you owe to the bank. So basically, long story short, you can't think of it in a negative, like, oh, you're in debt or you're gonna have debt. No, it's an investment into something wise that you're going to make your money back. You're gonna make a return on your investment and you're gonna pay back in payments. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot think on a mediocre level, an immature level, a childish level, kiddie level. You have to think on a investment level. Like, I invested in myself, I invested in my business, I invested in things that were gonna make a return on my investment. So buying a house, you, if you have, let's say your house costs 150,000, that's nothing. You can save $150,000, right? You can go and cash out 150,000 on that house, right? But don't you need extra money? Don't you need money to pay off other things? So why not keep that $150,000? Show that you're responsible. Go get a loan for $150,000. Pay off that house. Only pay payments to the bank, and then use their other money for other investments. Right? It's just money management. How you manage your money. So I'm saying all this as an example. I'm not telling you guys my personal business or my personal experience, only a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly how my life went. But I will say this to say, when it comes to asking for financial help, people are just not going to give you free money. People are going to see, what do you offer? Okay, let's trade. Everything is trade, everything is business, everything is earned, and responsibility when you're a grown adult. Same thing with credit. Credit is a similar thing from loans. If people take out credit cards in college, you have to build your credit. You have to go figure out, how do I start building credit? Credit is borrowed money. So basically, credit card, right? You apply to a credit card, they give you $5,000 on that credit card, a limit. We believe that you can pay back your payments on time and you're going to build your credit score, okay? You're going to be responsible. $5,000, that's just money from the bank. You go and use that, right? You start to pay off payments and payments and payments. You don't just pay the $5,000 unless you want to, but you pay in payments, whatever. That's another form of a loan, credit. And who has a big credit card? Let's say Drake. Drake has big Black Card, MasterCard. Why does he have credit? Because it's free money, but it's because you're responsible and you're trustworthy and you have income and you can pay that. Now, they're not going to give that to people who don't have income, who don't have a job, or who have, so you have to learn all this stuff. But first things first, go get a job somewhere, start somewhere, work your way on up. Figure out, how does your brain work? What kind of career do you want? How much money do you want to make? Where do you fit in? How are things going to work for you? You get what I'm saying? Don't just sit around waiting for money to fall in your lap. That's not how it works. You have to give to get, okay? So stop asking, is somebody going to financially support me? No, you have to financially support yourself. You got to put in the work. You got to apply yourself. You got to read. You got to, start somewhere. You get what I'm saying? People just don't give handouts unless you are a hooker, whore, prostitute, escort, selling your ass, selling your body in return for payment. And I've never done that in my life. So thank the Lord, praise the Lord. But at the end of the day, you are in a game of politics anywhere you go. I try to work alone so that I'm not around too many politics. But long story short, politics is do I like that person? Do I not like that person? That's politics game. You gotta be likable. So long story short, I say this to say, for instance, what I do income wise, I travel now. This year, I was like, I'm going to start traveling out of state to make money. So I want to travel, I want to see the world, but I also want to make money at the same time. So that's what I'm doing. I got out of my comfort zone and I started traveling more. So I'm on the West Coast, right? I live in the West Coast, but I'm on the East Coast not right now. The Midwest. I'm traveling. I might even go to Florida in a few weeks. So I'm seeing what's out there for me, you know, and I'm figuring out my terrain, you know, like I'm figuring out my stuff. But I've been looking at houses and condos to own in a different state, you know, like you guys got to get out of your comfort zone. It takes money to make money, though. You got to save some money to go invest. So I say this to say, start looking up how to make flyers, start looking up how to make brochures, start doing presentations in front of people. If you want someone to invest in you, present them with a plan and an idea. Hey, I need $250 to go travel to Florida, and this is what I'm going to do while I'm in Florida, and this is how I'm going to repay it back to you. You know, like if you were trying to look for a loan or somebody to loan you some money, that's different than somebody just giving you some money, because people don't just usually generously just give like that. You know, it takes a lot to like figure that part out. Who's just giving you money? You know what I'm saying? A sugar daddy? And I've never had a sugar daddy in my life. So basically, long story short, people cut corners, but I don't. That's just me. But I'm giving you guys ideas, a little bit idea how to be a little bit more financially well off. If you have to move, move. If you have to apply to somewhere, apply. So if you have to change something, go do something. You know, like just get off your ass and start doing stuff, guys. You will figure it out eventually. All you need to do is create a free business card. Get a business card. Create free business cards. Even if your business cards are $15 to print out to get, put your name, your phone number, your email, and put something on your business card as far as please call me. I'm looking for legal work. I need legal work, or hey, I will work for you, or personal assistant, or offering assistance, or you know, do something and pass those cards out to people who look reliable, people who have like designer or people who are driving nice cars. Hey, they see your face, they want to hire you, they want to help you out. Go and introduce yourself to somebody. Go and keep doing, you know, plant the seed. You know, do something. This is what we do in California. We hustle. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get around that momentum energy. I don't know if some of you guys live in places that's not very momentum wise, like the energy's not buzzing, like, but you have to get somewhere that's like people are hustling, people are trying to make money, people are literally just trading money for service, money for service, money for service, from one account to the next account. You know, people have money and you just gotta go get it, be hungry and get it. You get what I'm saying? So don't steal. Stealing is like, it's bad. Like money wise, don't steal. Don't be a thief. You get what I'm saying? That's what I will say is like, try to earn it as much as you can. You know, as far as money goes, don't steal money because it will always slip out of your hands. If you steal money that's not earned, it will always slip out of your hands one day. It will always return back to the sender. You get what I'm saying? I would say hustle. Hustle is like just get moving, get talking, get producing. You know, use what you have. But I used to attract everything. All the opportunities that came around my way, I would attract them, and then I would like just work on my own. And mind you, there was so many opportunities I missed because people came knocking from my door for me, and I used to be like, why does this producer want to talk to me? Why does this celebrity want to talk to me? Why does this rapper want to talk to me? And I never used to take advantage of those opportunities. Like, hey, I could have been their personal assistant. I could have been their wardrobe stylist. I could have been their, their girlfriend. And I never took advantage of those opportunities. But look at me now. I still can, you know? But look at me. I'm in the medical industry because I want to make my own money fair and square, like a square. You know what I'm saying? So people don't think I'm a gold digger. Because I never was raised like that. You know, I was always raised like, get it out the mud, get it on your own. So me, like for instance, me doing tarot was only a spiritual practice that I wanted to practice, and it ended up becoming a side hustle from all of the donations I got, right? So like I didn't bank on it, but I put myself out there, and I put my best foot forward, and I earned it. You get what I'm saying? So I say this to say, get moving, okay, and keep moving, because for the rest of your life, you will always need money to survive. Don't look to me for a handout. Look to me for guidance. I'm here to guide. I'm here to help. You get what I'm saying? I'm here to give some inspiration and be in your entertainment as well. But I say this to say I don't want y'all being brokies. I want y'all to thrive. So start to thrive and start to think about surviving and thriving. You get what I'm saying? I know a lot of you guys are surviving, but it's time to thrive. So I wanted to touch base on that. Let's see what next video I make. And if you want me to create a video for you like this, head over to my community page. I have a sign up sheet that's on Google Forms that you can like tell me what you want me to talk about, and I will go in and lecture about it on a video like this and upload it for you. All right, guys. See you later. Come to my lives. Bye.